What is going on, guys? It is your man, formerly known as Mustache Matt, rocking it. Not solo today. We're doing some betting stuff, and I got my other main man, Devin, on here with me, who I know you guys like a lot. We're gonna go game by game and talk about each game from a betting angle. How you feeling today, Devin?
Feel really, really good. It's an interesting 9-game slate. We have a lot of potential to make some money tonight.
Yeah, man, a lot of potential to make some money from a lot of angles. I know we've been talking a little bit. I'm interested to get your take on a couple of games that I told you about to see if maybe I can get you on board. Let me screen share this and let's just start off right at the top. Cleveland, Indiana, man. So usually I let you start and have you give your opinion, but I'm going to start off here. I love Cleveland in this spot. Why the hell is Cleveland a 2.5-point favorite in Indiana coming off three embarrassing national TV losses, getting shelled last night, back-to-back, rested Indiana. Indiana's already beat them twice this year. The only reason I can figure that Cleveland is favored here is because Vegas knows, and I'm riding with Vegas here. Cleveland rolls in this spot. I feel very confident in that. Based on how they've played, I shouldn't feel that confident about it. But we've talked about this, man. Cleveland's on another level from these teams. I actually think that this game matters to Cleveland because of what happened recently. I think Cleveland absolutely rolls here, and this line is indicative of that. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I feel very good. It sets up as kind of a bad scheduling spot for the Cavaliers, but I'm sure, like many people, you noticed last night, LeBron James was basically screaming and yelling at his teammates to get their act together, and I just don't see any way this team loses tonight. I think he's going to put the team on his back, and he is going to win this game for them. He's going to make sure they win tonight.
Yeah, man. So I like Cavs -2 a lot here. That's one of I have 4 games circled. That's a game that I like quite a bit here. I agree with you. And the also thing that I like about this is they've lost twice to Indiana this year. Double revenge. Like,
yep,
sign me up here. You know, people are scared off by Cleveland. They're getting hated on right now. Cleveland's one of my top plays. I like them -2. If you can get them at money line, like -125 or less, I'd take it there. But I think two is very reasonable here. I don't think it's an issue that they cover it by 2.
Yeah, I'm seeing -2 across the board. I like that bet quite a bit.
All right, nice. So let's move on. I think this is one that I like that you won't like, but based on what I said before, I know you can get my viewpoint. So we're in agreement, man. Charlotte sucks. Like, they are one of the big disappointments of the year for sure. We both hate on Charlotte a ton. We put them in the same vein as Orlando, but we know when all is said and done that they're better than Orlando. And I don't see any reason. Again, this is another one where I'm looking at it from a contrarian angle. Utah was just 4-point dogs in Miami last Sunday, I believe. There's no way they should be 5-point dogs in Charlotte, who's a much worse team. Vegas is telling me something here. It's already moved to 5 from 4. Why? Because sharp money's on Charlotte here. I like Charlotte, and that sounds crazy. I know I could get burned here, but I like Charlotte to blow Utah out, man.
Yeah, I don't have as big of a strong take as you with Charlotte. I really don't respect them. We both kind of they're down there for one of the bottom tier teams in the league. But yeah, I see your viewpoint. Utah has a tendency to go on road trips and just absolutely stink it up on the road, and this could be just a prime spot where Charlotte just rolls here and blows them out, by the third quarter.
Okay, let me ask you something. If you had to make, it sounds like you don't like this game to wager on, and that's fine. If you had to make a wager here, would you take Utah with the points? I know you like taking dogs, or would you take Charlotte here?
I'd probably take Charlotte, especially after that just absolutely atrocious loss at home against what was it, back for the Mavericks plus travel. They should not have lost that game. That was one of the worst losses of the year of any team.
My biggest worry here is that Charlotte might be so dysfunctional that they've really given up. And if that's the case, Utah could come in and win this game. I'm counting on the fact that Kemba Walker, Dwight Howard, etc. I mean, they're going to win some games this year. I mean, they're a better team than Utah, I think. This is a risky one for me. I don't like taking favorites that much. I don't love the chalk. I just think that this line move is telling me something here. I like Charlotte. Just a personal opinion here. I just think that they roll tonight. Let's move on, man. Orlando, Washington. What's your take here?
So this is probably the game that's going to get the lowest amount of bets and probably just be overlooked across the board on this
Sure.
9-game slate. This is a weird spot because I have been very notorious of saying that Washington is possibly the most overrated Eastern team in the conference, but Orlando is down there with Charlotte and Brooklyn and Atlanta for just being awful. But I really don't mind the spot if you want to kind of take a YOLO bet. Take the points with Orlando here. This could be a spot where just like a guy like Elfrid Payton and Aaron Gordon kind of just put the team on their back and go to work. We've seen it before.
So if Washington hadn't just lost to Utah, I could feel it more. Here's my problem with this game. I'm not laying 10 or 10.5 with hardly anyone, let alone the freaking Washington Wizards. You know what I mean? and I'm really not trying to bet on Orlando right now, especially how dirty they did me against Houston in that awful spot for Houston like last week. I'm off them right now. They could cover the point. If anything, I would take the points, but I'm not on this game. I get your point for sure. It's exactly how I would think of it. If you must play this game, you play Orlando because you're getting double-digit points. But we know Orlando, man, they could get rolled easily by anyone.
Oh, absolutely. This could easily be a 53-25 game at halftime. That's kind of why I just said if you want to bet on it, go ahead. It's a YOLO bet. Put some pennies on the dollar to it. Nothing serious. Otherwise, just avoid this game tonight.
For sure. All right, moving on. So there's 4 games I like, and we've actually hit 3 in the top 4. Brooklyn, Atlanta, man. You know me. I like Brooklyn in general. I'm a fan. You're a fan. We talk about this together. We're very similar in our opinions of things because we watch a lot and we know what we're talking about. So usually we get on board with the same stuff. I think I like Brooklyn more than you do here, but I like Brooklyn for the spot they're in. Atlanta, I always like picking on teams in their first game back from a long road trip. That's Atlanta tonight. Atlanta's a bad team. They're on the same level as Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn's actually the better team, but the conception is that Atlanta might be the better team. I disagree with that. I think this game should be a pick 'em. I'll happily take the 3 points here. I think Brooklyn wins this game.
Yeah, I wasn't as strong on the Nets until I kind of sat down and talked to you about it. But yeah, I always like playing the Nets. They're still a bottom tier team, but they're better. They're kind of like the Mavericks. They're a little bit better than the really bottom of the barrel teams. They go out and play most nights. And yeah, I do agree with you. I think actually the Nets should be favored here. And if you're the type of bettor that likes over-unders like I do, take the over here. I think this is a good spot. You get 2 top-paced teams who play no defense. This is a great spot for the over to go, just skyrocket above the 210 total.
Yeah, man, I could for sure see that, especially in a close game.
I
like the fact. And you know me, I like the fact that Atlanta is coming off a win in Denver and Brooklyn's coming off getting embarrassed against
sure.
I can't even remember who they played, but I like that because Brooklyn, we've seen them come back the last couple of times they've been embarrassed. So I think that they play hard. They almost beat Toronto the other night. I was all over them then.
So it was on the 10th at home. They got absolutely shelled by Detroit. It was 114-80. That game was over by the middle of the second quarter. So
here's the thing. The other reason why, sorry to interrupt you, why I like Brooklyn. So I was looking at that spot and I was like, I want to take Brooklyn here, but I'm going to wait until their next game because I know it's possible they get rolled here. And if they do, then the value will be high on Brooklyn. That's what I said before that game. It worked out perfect for my favor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I might have put you on Brooklyn here, which I'm happy about, but hopefully they win so I don't feel bad about it.
Yeah, I'll roll with you. I like the Nets. I always like the Nets. That's a team we're always talking about every time, every slate.
Yeah, but we've been on the Nets for weeks now, dude, honestly.
Oh, yeah, we have.
For a while. All right, New York, Minnesota. One of my buddies texted me that they really like, and this is a guy I respect and trust. He likes New York in this spot. He thinks that Minnesota is getting a ton of hype right now, coming off the wins they had against OKC and Cleveland. He thinks that New York can cover this 9-point spread, 8.5 I'm seeing. I don't disagree with him. My problem is the Knicks are coming off double OT, and we've seen the Knicks get rolled before. So you know me, if I'm up in the air, I'll take the points, but this is a no play for me. How about you?
Yeah, this is just a pass for me. You're either going to get the Knicks team that is very competitive and battles it out, or you're going to get the slow and tired, we don't care, we're just going to put Michael Beasley out there for 30 minutes Knicks team. So I'm just on a pass of this game. Minnesota, in my opinion, is playing a little bit above their head, but it seems like maybe Tom Thibodeau has finally kind of cracked the shell and they're starting to play defensive minded like he wants them to. So this is just a pass for me.
Me too. If anything, I'd take the points, but again, a pass. Moving on to a game that finally you like more than me. I don't have any interest in this Portland New Orleans game. I'm not sure though. Is this New Orleans' first game back from a road trip? It might be. If so, I could get on board with you. I'm going to check on that. But why don't you speak on why you like Portland here?
Yeah, so the main reason is Portland is a 3-point road dog. The over-under is 219.5. Might get pushed up a little bit if Anthony Davis and Damian Lillard are confirmed in. Dame did say he was going to play tonight. AD still question mark because he's the glass man. You never know with him. But if Anthony Davis, if we do get the news before the game starts that AD is out, I love the +3 spot here. And it's just for the simple fact that I've watched enough Pelican games to know that they aren't blowing anybody out. Boogie Cousins is probably going to drop 30 points, do his Boogie Cousins type of thing, but they're still either barely not going to win or they're going to get blown out because the team is they're just not good outside of AD and Holiday and Boogie Cousins.
Yeah, I can get on board. Here's my question about this game, though. So would you want to bet this like now before you know about Davis? Because I think if we find out Davis is out and Lillard's in, this line moves to like a 1-point spread, which it doesn't sound like you have much interest in, but it doesn't sound like you want to bet it without knowing. So what's your plan of attack here?
So I think my plan of attack is this is one of the games I'm kind of on the fence about, but I do feel pretty strong that Anthony Davis isn't going to play just from years of watching the guy. He's, a big old glass cannon. He never plays consistently. But what I would do here is if you feel strongly about Portland like I do, take the +3 and then kind of just pray to the sports gods that AD sits out. But I like the spot for Portland. They got they lost a tough game against Houston. They need to start winning games. Terry Stotts is on the hot seat. They have got to start winning games.
Yeah, so I'm not sure about Portland here. This is a good. Yeah, I'm just not sure about this game. So being not sure, I will pass. But that's just me. I get your point. If anything, I would take the dog here. But New Orleans does kind of scare me at home in this spot. I wouldn't take New Orleans, but yeah, the line's moving down. Like I like that at 3 a lot better than at like 1.5 or 2, which I'm afraid it will be with Davis out. And if Davis is in, then it doesn't sound like you like Portland. That's the problem.
Yeah, I'm off. Like AD is soft, but I just don't think Portland has the skill set to deal with both of those guys. Boogie is one thing, AD, and Boogie at home is another thing. If we get Anthony Davis news, I'm off it completely. Otherwise, this is a borderline. I'll go over the fence here and say I do like the +3, but that is with AD news pending. If he's in, don't want any part of Portland. If he's out, sure, why not?
All right.
Depending on the news.
All right, man. So now a game that we both like a lot, and I won't lie. So I was talking about this to Ryan early this morning that I think this is a game that the Bucks could win. You messaged me about this, that you were really feeling Milwaukee tonight, which only piqued my interest. We both like the Bucks a lot here, and we liked them before Curry was out. I guess my biggest concern, and before you talk about why you like Milwaukee, is that Golden State's coming off a loss, and they play Toronto tomorrow in a bad scheduling spot. What's weird is that I actually see them losing this game but beating Toronto in Toronto because I think they care more about the Toronto game. But that's just me. Big reason I like this game is this line keeps moving down, and I'm all about the sharp movement. I think this line ends up at like 4, 3.5. I'm happy to be on Milwaukee +6 and 5 here. What's your take?
Absolutely, yeah. This is the game. This is a game that I did message you. It was like 11 noonish your time, and I was like, "Hey, Milwaukee is +6.5." I got on it. Curry's probably not going to play, and then he was out. Hop on this. I just like the spot. Milwaukee traditionally has just played better at home. We know what Golden State brings to the table. They are the Michael Jordan team of this era. Teams get up, especially at home, to play them. I think this is just a spot where Milwaukee bullies them a little bit, and maybe Golden State kind of comes in a little over their head and just gets beat, just flat out beat.
Yeah, man. So the other thing that's weird, and I've said this to Ryan also, I'm not sure if I mentioned it to you. Milwaukee, how they've built their team, they actually match up with Golden State because they're so long. They can defend them. They're not nearly as good as Golden State, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But when they play these games in the regular season, keep in mind that Golden State doesn't care about this game all too much, where Milwaukee, they're going to have a sellout, huge crowd, you know what I mean, facing the
exactly
champions, one only time all year. We talked about this before we got on. Milwaukee's that type of team that will beat Golden State here and then lose to the Knicks or whoever they play tomorrow. You know what I mean? That's just who they are. I do see them getting up here. Now, could I see Golden State, matching them and playing hard and winning this game? Yeah, but I think it's within the spread here, and I would jump on this early before it drops down to less than 4 because I do like it a lot more at 5 and 6 and then 4.
Yeah, luckily we got in on it at +6, and I feel really, really confident that Milwaukee at least covers 5 or 6.
I kind of agree with you, though. I tend to agree that I think Milwaukee wins this game.
I do, yeah.
They almost coming off a really nice practice against Orlando, so I like this spot. All right, next game. I didn't even talk to you about this game, but I'm off this Memphis-Denver game. But going into when I was looking at the games last night, I actually liked Denver in this spot because they're coming off a bad loss against Atlanta. They're staying home. Memphis is going on the road. Memphis is coming off a win against New Orleans. I think the spread could be higher. But then I'm seeing it, and I'm seeing, public money's on Denver. The line's going down. I know Gary Harris is out, but I don't want to bet a chalky team that I think sharp money is against. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, I don't have much interest in this game in terms of betting. In terms of DFS, which this isn't a part of the video of, I have some interest in this game, but in terms of betting, I'm off this game. There are certain players I like in this spot, but that's about it. So,
well, it's on video, man. So I'm interested. Who do you love in this game DFS wise? You rolling with Barton or Jamal Murray or both?
In cash, I'm probably going Barton. And in GPPs, I like Jokic and Tyreke Evans as a nice little combo right here. This is just a really good spot for Evans since Harris has improved defensively this year. Will Barton, he's a great offensive player, but defensive side, he's probably going to get worked a little bit by Evans.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Barton plays tonight in the point guard role. Who sees the majority of those minutes? He can go a bunch of ways there. Jokic is the safest and a guy with upside for sure. All right, man. I want to get your take on this game because I brought it up to you a bunch, but you haven't really given me your honest opinion. So let me start by saying that starting out the day, I liked Phoenix a lot. I thought that this line was too low, that Vegas was telling me something. But the more I think about it, man, I'm off Phoenix here. I could see this spread as opposed to moving down. I think this moves up to 8. I think Houston just maybe not rolls in terms of Toronto, Cleveland last night, but somehow, some way, when this game's over, they win by 12 points.
Yeah, we talked about this at probably the most before the video. This is a spot where I just think Phoenix just doesn't cover the spread. I think Phoenix plays Houston really good up until the half, and then in the third quarter, Houston starts to pull away and just starts shooting 3 after 3 after 3 after 3 and starts pulling away. And by the fourth quarter, it's over,
Yeah, man. And when you say that, it makes me want to take look at Phoenix first half. But the problem is that spread's only 4. Phoenix could be very much in this game and be down 5 at half. You know what I mean? That's
exactly. And that's the worst is when you have a -3 and then Eric Gordon shoots a 30.3 shot and they're up by 5 at halftime and then you're just kind of staring at your computer screen like what the hell just happened?
Yeah, so I wouldn't bet Houston here. I don't like road chalk, but I liked Phoenix a lot to start the day. Man, I'm just off them straight up. I like the other 4 better. I just do. Milwaukee, Cleveland, Brooklyn, and Charlotte. Those are my 4. I might sprinkle in that Brooklyn Atlanta over. I don't mind that at all. over-unders just tilt me too much, man, honestly. Like, whenever I bet an over-under, like, if I'm on an over, I feel like they're never scoring. If I'm on an under, I feel like they're scoring, like, every possession. I know it's not true, but it's just I can't even watch the game. You know what I mean? I just automatically have the worst vibes doing it. So I will do it occasionally. Like, we bet that Toronto Bulls over. But man, like 2 minutes into that game, I was texting you like it's done. You know what I mean? Because like it was 8-8, and like obviously it ended up, hitting almost 120 at half, so we were fine. But how it is, man, those tilt me a lot.
Yeah, it happens. It was just like when we bet the Nets the other day at home against Toronto. We were both like, "Man, this is ugly," but I'll really, really start regretting the bet if it's the third quarter and the Nets are down 20. And fortunately, they came through for us. So
this is funny, man. So sometimes, and I'll bring this up because this is just a point in general, you can't be greedy. So were you watching that game, that Nets game?
Yeah, I was.
So we were both on the Nets. I was heavy on the Nets. I like them a lot, and I had also bet them kind of smallish money line also in the first half. And they were down 1 in the end of the first half and at the end of the game. And both ended with Dinwiddie throwing the ball over the hoop. Did you see that? Like,
I don't know what he was doing.
Me neither. Like, I really wanted those wins. I'm not like sitting here salty about it, but honestly, like they didn't even get up a shot. Dinwiddie literally threw the ball over the hoop.
Yeah, I guess he was trying to be, I don't know, like Matt Ryan or something.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing, dude? Shoot the ball at least. Come on.
The only worst thing is, man, I don't even know if we touched on this, but the Dennis Schroeder in Phoenix going for that.
Oh, my God, yes. Dude. You're down 3 and you drive to the basket with like half a second left. What are you doing?
People got hurt on all angles from that game, too, because, they had Phoenix minus 1.5. People had Atlanta, pick them. So there's no chance for OT. That was
exactly. It's like that had to be like the bonehead of the bonehead move of the year so far in NBA. It's like, what are you doing, dude?
Especially for betting,
Yeah, exactly. You just screwed like 3 angles out of.
Seriously, like, how do you even screw 3 angles? And you managed to do it. Like, that was
play.
Crazy. Well, I'll tell you what, man. I'm going to look at this slate tomorrow. Yeah, we got another big slate tomorrow. Why don't we plan on hopping on and going over some more stuff tomorrow afternoon?
Yeah, that'll sound good.
I do want to say, though, when we can touch on this kind of as a bonus. So Dallas plays the Lakers tomorrow at home at 2 o'clock. If I remember correctly, Dallas absolutely has demolished the Lakers at home on these early weekend games the past 2 years. There is no reason that the Mavericks right now, with how well the Lakers are playing, should be 4.5, 5-point favorites. And I love the Mavericks here. I think they absolutely roll. You?
Yeah, that's going to be a really good game. And we also know the Mavericks are a very, very good home team. They are really good at home. They're very competitive. I like that spot. By the way, does Washington play tomorrow? Because I know tomorrow is the 13th and it's Polish Heritage Night. Do not fade Marcin Gortat on Polish Heritage Night if he plays.
They do, man. They play our boys from Brooklyn.
Don't fade him. Play him. I played him the last 2 years, and he's gone off for like 40 points both times. I don't know what it is, but it's a narrative that I buy, and it's worked for 2 years. So,
all right, other real quick question. Charlotte plays OKC tomorrow. You think that Charlotte – they look past this game tonight, or they want it more because they know they got OKC coming into a revenge game tomorrow, and they don't want to lose 3 in a row at home after just losing to Dallas?
Man, that's a tough read because I just have no confidence in Charlotte every night.
Man, I appreciate the
tough read.
I'm too geeked on Charlotte for sure, but you know what? I'm with it. I'll roll with it, and I'll be texting you about it, crying when they get rolled.
You know what? I might roll with it too. So eventually, they've got to snap out of this. Hopefully when Clifford comes back, since he's actually a pretty good quality coach, they'll start getting the ball rolling. There's no way they're this awful with 3 All-Stars. When you have Tubman, Walker, and Howard, you can't be this bad.
Yeah, and you never call anyone a good coach. So I'm not sure what this guy did to you, but it must have been something good. The other thing that scares me is, like, I was on Orlando versus Houston last week, and man, like, I like that spot for Orlando. And we always compare Charlotte to Orlando, and they just let me down, dude. So like I'm a little scared, but you know what? That's what betting is. So we'll roll with it. And starts in a couple hours here. So let's get it tonight, man.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be a very profitable night. Good luck, guys.
Fun stuff. All right, guys.
Later.